Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm gonna make a real quick video here. Catch you up, but I'm not gonna brief you on probably like the 10-hour live we did with Pocket Change yesterday. Just in case you weren't able to catch it, because it was literally all day and all night. I'm gonna start off by this guy down here in the blue shirt. Is that Elliot? I just happened to go through some old pictures and I found some stuff, and I only have like a side picture of him sitting on a sink in his underwear. And by the skin complexion, I'm just wondering if anybody knows, this guy right here in the blue shirt, is that Elliot, Monifa's friend? Okay? I don't know what order these are in, but I'm sure I'm going to make you laugh at some of the jokes and theories we came up with today. But they kind of make sense. Because have any of us, besides profile pictures and numerous Facebooks and random posts from somebody else's Instagram, has anybody been able to locate Bernard Bradley? Because I know he has a girlfriend. At least that's what these Facebooks say for years, and I'm pretty sure he has kids. But we noticed something quite hilarious today in the chat. Okay, this is Allison Bird. This is Bernard Bradley's girlfriend. Okay, now she looks different in other photos, but I'm showing you this photo for a reason. This is one of the older Facebooks. Like, I think down here, I don't think that's too recent. This was before the other Facebook, I think. Or it's on one of his Facebooks. I want you to pay attention, because, like, the eyes will get you every time. And, like, no disrespect, but, like, you gotta pay attention to the forehead. Okay? Everybody can get screenshots. Okay? Now, I say this because today in the chat, somebody had stated that it wasn't only men that were raping women, that there were women at this party raping other women. And I found that quite disturbing. I date women, and I've never, ever, that wouldn't happen. So, like, you gotta be fucked up in the head. Let's just put it that way. But I want you to pay attention to his facial features. And I do have a point here, as much as you're gonna laugh and say that I'm full of shit. Okay? If this little thing wasn't up here, and I'll show you a better picture tomorrow, I'm exhausted. He has, like, this little thing in his hair. I don't know if it's like a little cyst or a bump, or somebody nicked him at the barber shop. I don't really know. And he's really good at keeping his mouth shut. So I can't really see what his teeth look like. So I'm a really big person on teeth. Okay. Oops. How did it skip? Okay. Now, we had this theory because of the beverage food manager that's walking around in the white shirt, the Teddy Ruxpin looking guy. I'm going to show you a photo here that Pocket Change showed us today where he's dressed like a woman. So we started going through some of these pictures, and when we came across Bernard Bradley, it kinda, if you look at the eyes and the forehead and the circles under the eyes and like the features, now trust me, if you're selling organs and doing shit like that, or all this prostitution, you got money to look good, plus you're hanging out with all these trannies who look sometimes 10 times better than an actual woman. So, it's possible, even if it is to just distract people from your real identity. So that was one person here. Real quick, I found this. This guy had, I don't know if he sent me a friend request, if that's what that is. He had posted on this thing on my Facebook a long time ago, and I'm like, who is this? Like, this was before we knew anything. And it was right after I posted the organ instrument from the kitchen. But now that we have gone through these security guards, who's the one security guard besides his name? Victor de Jesus? Ring a bell? So Victor, why did you want to be my friend with a fake profile? Because were you the one that fucked up and left the instrument in the kitchen? So I just wanted to point that out. Well, I'm starting at the... Okay. Next, I want you to pay attention to these security guards. We'll go back to the other stuff with the other pictures I have. Okay? Notice how the hands are covered up. Okay? I want you to pay attention to the ears. They're trying real hard to disguise this person. At least I think so. And I don't think it was until hours into the chat that we all started laughing and actually figured it out, and I still didn't get it until I went through the profiles on Facebook and was like, holy shit. Okay? Somebody said that there was a black security guard, and then somebody had said that, like, Asian maybe, or Mexican. It's been up in the air. I know Tiffany Draper, which I'll show you here in a minute, put Pablo Diaz, I think, up the other day. I'm going to show you why he could possibly be one security guard, but I think we're dealing with doubles here. Okay? Now, I've wore things around my neck before, like those little lanyards, and this is reaching just a little bit, but you're going to see why. As much as they're editing these photos, you notice how that coat is green? Okay? The other picture that I'm going to show you, it's black. Okay? And the lanyard kind of looks like there's some possible taped boobs down. Okay? If I move this, we might be able to see that the shoes are different. And by the way her hands are on the... Their hands, sorry, are on the back of her butt. Whatever, I'm tired as hell. It's just, her stance is way different than the other security guard that comes in at one point or another at the same spot. Okay? I want to say they have plugs in their ears. I know we can notice it on the other security guard. But the way... Let me find a pen. The way right here that the legs are, it reminds me of a girl. Okay? And if you look at the hair right here, how it's like a zigzag. Watch this. Okay? See how the hand looks funny? Like they edited it out. And I believe that's because they have tattoos on their hands. Okay? Now, this is the same security guard as the one I just showed you, okay? And if you look, this is kind of leaning outward, like it's resting on a chest that's not flat. Okay? Not only that, the freaking foot is missing. Okay? I wouldn't be surprised if they just switched that right when I said it could possibly be a girl. Okay? Now, I hope there's twins, guys. Okay? So, I'm hoping I have at least one picture of each of them. But, they have a lot of tattoos. And, especially right here. So see how the sleeve's up on that side? And not on this side? It's because they're trying to cover up the tattoos. And I think right here on these knuckles, there's tattoos. And if you look, it's darker. Like they're trying to edit out the tattoos. Okay? This just keeps getting better and better, right? But I promise we're getting there. I mean, does that look familiar at all? Minus the glasses. And I keep trying to notice the one security guard when the guy's playing the slots or whatever he's playing and the phone rings. He comes over with the little notepad and he gives that like bug-eyed look, but he had like a goofy smile or like shock. The way they're drinking this beer, I can see it. Okay? And then we'll go look at the ears here. See how they're just like, they're curvy or like little elf ears. Okay, they didn't really open their mouth too much. I know they're smiling here. And the hair's different. But, of course, they're disguising their appearances from themselves or who they're trying to replace. Okay, here we go. We got Teddy Ruxpin waddling around the hotel. This bastard's sick. So, I forgot to snap a photo earlier during the chat with Pocket Change and World News. This dude, this guy needs thrown in a hole with gasoline and caught on fire. Is in the elevator holding an infant. Okay? Where he got this infant, I don't know. But, you know, as we know watching the footage, these kids come out like a vending machine. And then you never find them again. So, I'd like to know what Mr. Teddy Ruxpin here did with the little baby. And, if I talk to Pocket Change today, I'll have him send me that photo. But, wait till you see this. Oh, not that. Okay, here's Mr. Teddy Ruxpin dressed like a woman. So, see, this must be the new trend. That we just dress up like women, except he does not make a pretty woman. At all. Okay? And I want you to notice how his collar's all messed up. And when he came around the corner, his whole shirt was untucked. So, who he was fondling like the 17-year-old girl before, because we came up with the conclusion that I had stated in one of my very first videos that could possibly be Bob Green from the Chicago Tribune, who got fired for inappropriately touching a 17-year-old girl. We're about 98% that that's him. Okay? And now he's over here cross-dressing like, I mean, it's like Meatloaf and Jimmy Buffett had a baby. That is not even a woman. At all. So maybe that's who we saw edited walking through the lobby with a baby. It was this freak. Like, these people are, they got some messed up ways. So, whoever was in that freezer, he knew damn well who was in that freezer when they got there, when he locked the door, and if there was anybody else in there or in a different floor, in a different room, he knew. And then I also want to state that when he got caught in 2013, the Chicago Tribune fired him for the whole thing that went on with that girl. Which I'll state in the video that I do tonight, We actually looked up every single person's address today. And I'm going to go over all that. But his wife passed away from a massive heart attack, I believe, a couple weeks after the incident. So, where I'm going with my next video, that I'll fill you in there, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, this is Rodney Stanton. And, I didn't see the video where Chosen, I heard the name, but I didn't really know what he looked like. So I looked him up when I was going through some footage today. And I remember somebody telling me that Chosen saw him in the footage. So I went through some footage. Of course, I'm going to have to go the other way. We know that's Antonia Evans, and I'll explain why she's on here in a minute. Okay, so here's the footage I started going through. Now, I had said something the other day, like we weren't sure who this was, and like I stated, it was 70 degrees on September 9th. So I don't know why they're dressed like they're about to go rob a bank with sunglasses when the lights are on. Okay, I think they just didn't want to be seen by the cameras, because as we know, right above there's the camera. I tried to edit these photos and flip them around as much as I could. So if anybody can take screenshots and try to clear these up a little bit more, I am going to send these to Chosen, because I don't know if he knows who these people are or what, but it could possibly help us at some point with the case, because we're getting people here and there, but we need for sures. Especially if Barbara Evans gets this body exhumed. Okay? I'm not sure who this is. Like I said, the stance kind of looked like Kenny Martin. But he was supposed to be in jail, so I really don't know. Who this guy is back here, I don't really know. Okay? When he gets closer, and I'll show you another picture, he has a mask on. Okay? This guy just looks like he's having the time of his life. But he only has one leg, because they're the shittiest editors ever at all. They're just shitty editors. Look, he don't even have a leg, okay? I mean, he's got skill. Hopping up in here, looking fresh in his jean jacket with one leg. And then you got these three guys. This is the guy that came in and drank the cup of juice or whatever the hell it was. Okay, they were stretched far apart, so there's a couple that are by themselves and then the rest are together. I'm trying to figure out who this is. I have a couple ideas, but I don't really know. So yeah, this is just an assumption. I want everybody to take screenshots and go do some investigating, and we're gonna figure this out. I want to say this is, I have two pictures. Well, we'll start here. They're coming up next. Okay, you see how there's a mask on his face? Or, like, he has a crocodile face? I don't really know what they tried to do with this picture. He kind of looks handicapped, like, in this picture, the way that his legs are, but I think that's just the way that they edited the photos. Maybe, I have no idea what is going through their mind. I mean, I'd be stressed out too if I had to put high heels on and then put my tie and suit and tie back on and then go take a baby somewhere and then help lock a freezer. So, you know, give them a little bit of credit that they at least had the tie tied. But I'd be stressed out. And if you watch Teddy Ruxpin, that's what we're going to call him from now on, walking everywhere, he just looks stressed out. Like, even though his face is edited halfway, I can tell he's stressed out. So, like, I don't know. No, that's mean. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but if you have, if you're humorous, you can probably think what I was going to say about a comment I made earlier. Okay? This guy right here, Chosen, if you're watching this, is that who you think Rodney Stanton is? Because that's who I think Rodney Stanton is. And I know they're making him look a little bit chubby, but one of his profiles said he was like 260, and then one of them said 175. So I'm taking it that he fluctuates in weight. Okay? Now this guy right here, he's got, you know, one white arm and one black arm. There was a guy. This is the one that I really was able to edit a little bit better. Okay? If you guys want to get screenshots, or all your kids are screaming because they're opening up presents right now, I'm going to get like 3 hours of sleep and have to go eat at my mom's. So, I'm not too sure who Gimpy is over here, but, I think this is Rodney Stanton, and this, I just happened to fall onto this, going through some profiles. Well, obviously, we're going to have to go forward and come back. Okay? This guy was on the party goers list on the Rosemont questionnaire thing for who got questioned that was at the hotel that night. Okay? Now, some time has passed, but I looked at this, and if you look right here, it looks like he has like a little indent or a little scar. The noses look the same. The goatee looks the same. The lips look the same. The eyes look the same. The eyebrows look a little bit different here, but they look the same here. The lines in the head. He's still got that little thing right here, that little thing right here, and that little thing right here. Okay? So, I think this could possibly be the guy that's in the black coat. I tried to go to some of their friends' pages to see if they were all friends from who I was assuming they were. But of course, they're closed. So, feel free. But that's who I think the guy on the very left is in the black coat. Then we got Rodney Stanton in the middle. We got Gimpy over here. And then up front, somebody sent me, I think, I almost said Plenty of Fish. Oh my god. Planet of the Fakes. Planet of the Fakes, somebody told me had a guy named Melvin Martin. Someday we'll get there. Holy crap. Okay. This is another photo of Rodney Stanton. Okay. Now, when I looked up his associates, I'm pretty sure Chosen already has, because I was trying to find the apartment complex that Antonia lived in. I didn't have very much luck, and like I said, I'm exhausted. I'm not going to watch another video right now. Okay. It had Antonia Evans as a relative, and somebody told me that's because they were married. Okay? So, this is definitely the right Rodney. Now, it states May 2017 he was arrested in, it's Peoria, Peoria, Chicago, which is ironic because that's where Melissa Rhodes is from, I think. Or Pekin. It's one of those. Which is kind of far away from when you live in Cook County, don't you think? Or could that be maybe because he's not really in jail? So, Chosen, that's something that you need to look into. Okay, this is this Melvin Martin guy. Now, somebody had stated at Teresa Martin's birthday, she had this big, huge cake. I saw it. It was like this big 44 cake. And a bunch of people and this and that. And somebody had said that the cake said, "My forever wife," or something like that. And they were like, "Oh, James was there. He got her the cake." Either way, I don't care if he was there or not, or if they're back together, or if they're not. This is justice for Kanika and justice for Antonia. So I take everything in, and then I make my own assumptions, and then try to prove them. So somebody else said that the cake was from him, that he had lived with Teresa Martin before. And I'm like, well, maybe it's a brother, maybe, you know what I mean? They have the same last name. I don't really know how that works. And at this point, Kanika used to be a Jenkins, and now she's a Martin. And Kenny was a Barrett, and then he was a Martin. I don't understand how all that shit is tying together, unless they're using all these different social security numbers and changing their names and stuff like that, which we're going to talk about all that later. I think I have one more. Here's another one. So I want you to tell me what you think if somebody can edit those photos of the guy in the white shirt, and let me know if you think this is him. And there was another guy that I saw. I think his last name was Harris. Charles Harris. But I'm leaning, I looked at his pictures, and he's kind of like I work out, you know what I mean? Not that the other guy doesn't work out. I'm just saying he's more slim than the other guy. And I don't know if that's because of the footage, or, you know what I mean? So the guy in the white shirt, is it Charles or is it Melvin? And then we're gonna get to, okay, so we got this picture right here. I think this might be the same twin. There's another twin that's a little bit smaller. So this one, we're gonna talk about all of them later, and I'll give you their profile pages and all that stuff, so you can go check everything out yourself. I'm trying to think how to pronounce her name. Tati, I think. T-A-T-I. And her sister is Nina. And their last name is Turcosis, just like Herbie. So Herbie has twins. A lot of people actually have twins in this case. Twins and a lot of transgender. Not saying that they're transgender. I'm just saying that, like, we've dealt with a lot of this in this case. And there's nothing wrong with that, but okay. From the very beginning, I stated that this was not Kanika in the casket. And I had talked to somebody, I think it was like Karen White, on Facebook today. And some people agree, some people don't. I'm sticking with my gut. We don't even know if Tiara Richardson on the left, who was in the car accident with Alfrederick Bump Ellis, who I looked him up, and he is deceased, as far as I know from his family's profiles. The Facebook that he has is from 2012, so he's aged, okay? He's 29. And another question that I would like to add is, why are 30, 40, 50, 55-year-old men partying at a hotel with a bunch of teenagers? That doesn't strike you as odd? Just a little bit? I mean, you're going to have one or two here, you know what I mean? Family, friends, and this and that. But it seems like they were outnumbered. You got all these kids under the age of 20 not even allowed to drink, and all these grown-ass men who have families and children and wives and everything else hanging out at this piece of shit hotel. So, I'm not saying that this isn't Antonia Evans or Tiara Richardson. Barbara Evans is going to have to get the body exhumed. Now, somebody had texted me today and said 2 caskets. Okay? As I'm in the middle of my live, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And, like, so there were 2 caskets, but then there weren't, and then it was the same one, and, like, that's why I try not to listen too much of what everybody... I listen to what everybody says, but I don't let it affect my decision, okay? Because the minute we do that, like we did in the beginning, Kate was going one way, I'm going the other way, then we're fighting and bickering, and then G's thinking something else, and then, you know what I mean? And we go in circles. So, like, the less I pay attention to the chat, I read it every day, and then I comment when I have time, but I don't pay attention to it when I'm doing this, because I have ADD, and I only have my phone and my laptop to show you pictures, because my laptop doesn't have Wi-Fi. So, we're doing the best we can here. So, I honestly think that this is Tiara Richardson in this casket. And I'm not saying that it's not Antonia Evans. I believe Antonia Evans is in the freezer. I do. And in the beginning, before we knew anything about Antonia Evans, I thought it was Shanika Watkins. And it wasn't until Mrs. Evans lost her daughter and couldn't find her, and they compared some stuff, you know what I mean, that I started thinking about it, okay? So then that means, where's Dimples? Where is Dimples? And for the first time today, I want to tell you, I could not understand what my friend was trying to tell me. It was driving me nuts. Like, I was ready to throw my phone through the window. Because it was like I was understanding what she was saying, but the way she was explaining it through a text, I just wasn't getting it. So I went to, and don't mean any disrespect by mentioning her name, to Brianna Garrett's Facebook page. And I watched the video when she yells at Chosen King. And I got it. I've never watched that before. So the whole time people were talking about this Brianna chick, I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? Brianna Cotton? Bree? You know what I mean? So I went and watched it, and I was like, holy shit. Okay? Do you guys, I don't know if Chosen has explained this yet. When Chosen put up that picture of Lenora on the left and Brianna on the right, this damn computer, they look alike, right? Lenora just looks older, like an older sister or an aunt, like she's stating. It's not, I'm not buying it. I'm not. I think that's a younger picture on the right of Lenore. Okay? I do. And I'm sticking to it. And I say that because I went to Brianna Garrett's page, and I looked at her pictures and some younger pictures, and that's not the same girl. I don't think it's the same girl. And if you want me to go back to the page and get 6 comparisons of each, I will. But I don't think that's the same girl. And the picture Chosen showed us, I think those are both pictures of Lenore. Now, I do know that, what's her name? Burgundy Harris is the mother of Brianna and Kenneth. Okay? But when I went to the newspaper article to read what happened, of course we gotta go the other way. I just wanted you to see, not that we don't know what she looks like, but I'm gonna come back to that because I still need to explain something. Okay? I'm not really, it has a disturbing picture on here, and if she would see this, I don't want her to have to see this. But it's basically, it's just a newspaper article. Like, I can cover this part up so you can see what I'm talking about. Actually, how the hell can I do this? I want to show you something. Okay? This morbid, disastrous rape that had happened. Okay? Supposedly happened in March, I believe 2017, to who we know as Breonna Garrett. Okay? Okay, this is the name they put on the article. That's not Breonna Garrett. So I started questioning it. Okay? And then me and my friend went back and forth for like 45 minutes because I couldn't get what was going on. Do you guys understand what's going on? Okay. Burgundy Harris is Kenneth and Breonna Garrett's mother. Lenora is her sister. And Ruth Ann is the mother. Okay? This is what I think. And this is just my opinion. For some reason, Breonna was in Chicago. And this bad shit happened. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, every single person that recorded this, took action in it, and then watched it on Facebook and didn't do a damn thing, all need thrown behind bars. The people that actually did it, they should be incarcerated for the rest of their lives. Okay? This is what I think. I think how Teresa Martin always said, Kanika and Kenny. Okay? And I probably wouldn't think this if Kenneth didn't have the same name. I think her name was Kanika. Or her middle name. Because I'm pretty sure her middle name is Kay. Or maybe it was Kanika Breonna. You see what I'm saying? And after she moved, and this happened, they put a fake name in the paper, and then switched her name around, which I probably would too. I'd probably shave my head. I don't really know what I would do if that happened to me. It's devastating. That's something that this poor girl's going to have to live with for the rest of her life. Because 6 to 7 grown-ass men, just like the guys that are at these hotel parties with these teenagers, decided to do one night. So, I have an email, and I know you guys are back and forth with Chosen King, with everything that's going on, and I try to keep an open mind. I don't think that that's Kanika in the casket. I don't think that's Kanika in the freezer. I don't think there is a Kanika. But I think that Dimples that we're looking for is Antonia Evans. Okay? And that the real Kanika is Breonna. Okay? And you can go research all you want. I haven't slept in 48 hours. So I'm pretty damn convinced. And when I get done today and I go through this whole briefing of what our show was about with Pocket Change and World News and I think EFUD, at least that's what I remember the phone, Yolanda maybe, what we talked about for hours, I'm going to go over that with you too, if you didn't see it. It's just not going to take 8 to 12 hours, because I'm going to try to do it in like an hour, now that I know everything that we went through. I mean, we looked up every single person's address, and let me point this out, that Zach Stoner's address and Bernard Bradley's address is a grassy knoll. There is no house there. So those addresses are fraudulent. There's no houses. So, where are they living? You know what I mean? Because the houses that they state they live in, there's no houses. It's just one big field. We're gonna go over everything. I'll brief you tonight. Everybody go enjoy their Christmas. I know I'm coming home and going to bed for a little bit. I'll probably try to catch up with you maybe like around 9 o'clock. So I think with as much as Chosen King is trying to help Antonia's mom, okay, and you have to understand this woman was lied to. That her daughter was found. Okay? So what happens if she exhumes that body and they manipulated it again? Switched it out so they don't get caught? I mean, there's going to have to be a body in there, so what are they going to... Even if they put another body in there, the DNA is not going to match. And if they think that it's just going to disintegrate, there's other ways for years that you can still tell. And if they're this stupid at editing videos and footage and leaving instruments in the kitchen and walking around with babies and all the stupid shit they're doing, if they're that worried about what I'm talking about for DNA and they don't know, fucking look it up. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure us, the ones that are smart, know exactly what I'm talking about. Because that's never going to go nowhere. So, do whatever you want, but you're in enough shit already. So, the moral of my video is, that's not Kanika in the casket, and that's not Kanika in the freezer. Chosen King, this is your dimples right here. And I'm going to send you an email before I go to bed. With a couple more things that you need to know. For Mrs. Evans. And I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. And I will be back with you tonight around 9 o'clock.